Hi, this is 365801 and this is the best books I've read in 2022 so far. So I'm going to do a really quick video, and that is because I am in the process of making another video which is the mid-year book freakout tag. And the very first question is always the one that stumps me, and last year I wasn't able to make the video because I couldn't answer the question, what is the best book you've read so far this year? And I just couldn't do it. So this year I thought I would make a completely separate video just talking about my favourites, because there are far too many. Now I'm splitting up this video into categories. That's the only way I can have as many favourite books so far. So I'll tell you what the category is and what is my favourite book in that category. Now the first book I am going to talk about is a non-BL title, and it is the best non-BL physical novel, and that is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I did not expect to like this as much as I did. It's one that everyone has said is really, really good and that everyone will love it, and I thought, yeah, okay, we'll see. So I did, and it was. I can't really say anything more than what everyone else has said about it. I am going to have a video coming out with a bit of a reading vlog section. Maybe it's out already, so if it is, I'll put a link to it in the corner. It's just a great book. Taylor Jenkins Reid has done a really good job of bringing that sort of Hollywood glamour and glitz, and yet the seedy and underside is there as well. The characters are really engaging and interesting, and it was everything that I could have expected, and I was surprised as well. So it was really great. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo will take you on a bit of a emotional journey, and I was ready for that journey, and I enjoyed the ride. And I cried a lot. So yeah, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo lives up to the hype. It is in contention for the best book I've read this year, for sure. Now the next one I'm going to talk about is the best non-BL digital manga, and that is When a Cat Faces West by Yuki Urushibara. Now this is the same mangaka as Mushishi, which is what I discovered when I noticed the art style looks awfully familiar. Why is that? And that is because it's the same mangaka. And it has the same vibes, man. It's got the same vibes. So if you like Monster of the Week, if you like Mushishi, if you like The Night Beyond the Tri-Cornered Window, if you like this sort of set in a normal kind of society world, but there's just one thing that's just slightly different that makes it all a bit weird. Is that magical realism? I don't know. But it's kind of fantasy, but with this fantastic cast of characters that are all really interesting, and this really interesting aspect to the world, and that is the flow. Oh, so good. I want this physically. I want the next digital title. I need volume 2. I need it now. I am definitely shipping some characters in this. I don't know if I'm supposed to, but I don't think I was ever supposed to ship anything with Mushishi, but I certainly did there too. So yeah, the best non-BL digital manga this year so far, When a Cat Faces West. Now the next one is the best non-BL physical manga, and I'm kind of cheating here because obviously I'm going to choose My Love Mix-Up. And you're going to be like, what? Yeah, I know, it's kind of BL, but technically it's Shoujo Beat. So Shoujo Beat does the publication, so it's not actually a BL. So what am I going to do? I obviously have to put this as the best one. I recently picked up volume 3. It carries on the story of Aoki, Hashimoto. It's just so cute, the two of them really struggling to put forward their romance, their relationship, trying to see how they can get with their two respective loves, and their friendship as well, which is just adorable. The four of them all together is just the sweetest thing. I absolutely love this bisexual rep in a shoujo manga. This is what we need to see, crossing over of demographics, because so many people forget that BL in its insentient stage. Its origin story is from the shoujo genre, so we should be really appreciative of a series like this. It's also gotten the adaptation, the drama, that has become so popular from two very good creators. The art is by Aruko, the story is by Wataru Hinekure, and it's just my heart. But also, I laugh my ass off with this. It's so good, and this might actually be my best manga of the year in the end. This is it, guys. This is like, what? BL but shoujo? Yes. I love this so much. I already have volume 4 pre-ordered, and I don't have anything else pre-ordered. That's how much I love this. So yeah, My Love Mix-Up, the best non-BL manga of the year so far. Now the next best is the best digital title, and this is the best digital BL manga. And I had a few in contention, but not many. And I have to go with, in the end, Beast's Storm, Hug Me Baby by Mori Kuroi. I absolutely love this series. I have no idea why. It's like cute and sweet, and they've got animal ears and tails, and it's got, you know, families and babies, and it's got all these things that I'm like, yeah, I love all that stuff, but why do I love this one? And I don't know what it is about Mori Kuroi and their work, and I've been following them for a while on social media anyway, so when they got licensed through Futekia, I absolutely ate up their work. I knew I was going to. It's just been so much fun, and this was one that I read back in January, so I thought it would be sort of knocked off the top spot when The Night Beyond the Tri-Cornered Window came out, volume 10, and as much as I enjoyed volume 10, I think I enjoyed the whole series more than just the volume 10, and so I think I preferred this over that, which is a shame because it wasn't as strong an ending as I perhaps had wanted for the series, and so it was a little bit of a disappointment. And also, in terms of other digital ones, the only other contention for the top spot would be Pink Heart Jam, and I absolutely loved that series. I'm so glad that we got a really great ending to it, also on Futekia, but that was one that came out over the course of the last 2 years. So in terms of one that I've just read this year, Beast Storm Hug Me Baby is probably my favourite. It's just super cute. Now, the one that most people will probably be wondering about is the best physical BL that I've read this year. And if I have to be honest, I haven't read that many from my collection, which is something I need to change, I know. But also, I haven't read that many that I've enjoyed, which is really sad. There are only a few in contention, and so one that I really enjoyed, but is not the best, is Only the Flower Knows, Volume 1 by Rihito Takurai. And I feel like I can't really include this because I have read this already, and I fully acknowledge I read it in scans years and years ago. I didn't think I was going to get a copy ever in physical, but June have released this. It is beautiful, it is wonderful, it is lovely. I'm in love with this cover, it's so stunning as a front cover. And the inside as well. Obviously it's Rihito Takurai's artwork, so it's going to be wonderful. But I already knew the story, it wasn't new to me. Although this actually is. So I've really enjoyed reading it, but I don't know if I would say it's the best, but it's definitely up there. The next one that I would also put into contention is Twittering Birds Never Fly Volume 6 by Yoneda Ko. This is also a June manga title. So lovely, wonderful. It really did take the story along into the next section. We're going to be getting a new arc. It kind of completed everything, but was it the best? Like, I loved it, but I think in the previous volumes when we got the that was like, woo, so exciting, whereas this one was like a climactic element to it that really pushed the story along. I cannot wait to see what happens in volume 7 and beyond. I love this story, I love these characters, I love what Yoneda Ko does with this world, and I want more of it. but is it the best? It's kind of depressing and violent. I don't really think that's what I would put forward as the best. It didn't give me go like, woo! It was like, and yeah, those are not the best feelings. Like most people who might know, I'm not a huge fan of organised crime stories. This is probably the only exception to the rule. So what is my absolute favourite? Probably... Was it any kind of contest? Therapy Game Restart Volume 1 by Meguru Hinohara. This is just... It is a sublime title, which is kind of surprising. But we do have the two main characters here, Shizuma and Minato, and the development of their relationship. The artwork is stunning. It's so sensual. It's so erotic. It just speaks to me because it's sweet, it's funny, it's got chibis, it's got romance, it's got love, it's got smexy, spicy times. It's just got everything. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to restart Volume 2 when it comes out. That will be one that I will need to. See that little explicit content sign? Yeah. So this is why, so far in 2022, Therapy Game Restart is my favourite physical BL manga. My next favourite is a webtoon, so the best webtoon I've read this year, and there were quite a few. I generally don't read a lot of webtoons other than on Lesson. Lesson seems to be the one where I have just gravitated towards, mainly because of Fargo. What can I say? I can't resist. I absolutely love Love is an Illusion. I've already done a reread this year. It's done. I just read it all in one sitting. It's great. But I have been following Love is an Illusion. The Queen. It's opened my mind and doors. I don't know. It's definitely been something that I didn't expect to love, but I probably should have known better. I should have known better. I should have known better. It's got the same universe as Love is an Illusion, so we do sometimes see some of the same characters that we've fallen in love with, but we do follow the older sister and her relationships with her secretary. It's been fantastic. I've just been reading along as I've been going. There are a few other titles that I have enjoyed. One about pheromones, which is a sort of a Megaverse one. Pian Pian. Pian Pian could have taken the top spot, even though I've been reading it for longer than just this year. This one has just come out this year. So for 2022, this is like top tier, fabulous. But Pian Pian has focused just on the main characters and hasn't given me the side characters, and I'm more interested in the side characters now than I am in the main characters. So when it comes to new lesson titles, new webtoons that I'm interested in and loving, Love is an Illusion, Fargo. She gives me what I want. And she also sometimes gives me things that I didn't think I wanted at all. But then I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. I am here for it. So yeah, if you like Omikaverse, this is definitely one to read. The next best that I want to talk about is some of the YA that I've been reading this year. And there are a few contenders because actually the YA has been half strong and half weak. So there's a few to choose from. But the one I'm going to go for the best is Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. Now there's a reason for this, and that's because I read the first volume of the series, What If It's Us, and I didn't particularly like it. It was okay, but then I gave myself a week off and I read this, and because I'd given myself a week off, I loved it. I cannot believe people waited 4 years for this. I feel so sorry for you. I'm so sorry you had to wait 4 years. Because this is a great sequel. It's really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I listened to the audiobook and I read along, both of them through my library, which is why I've got this image here. It's so good to be able to read these things through your library. So yeah, it's my best library book, I think, as well. Maybe. The other contenders for YA, I think, was like Carry On from Rainbow Rowell, and also Icebreaker. Icebreaker was really, really good, but I'm not entirely sure if it was just let down by the ending in the end, whereas this one gave us the ending that What If It's Us didn't give us, which is what you want when you're reading a book, to feel satisfied at the end. And Here's to Us. I have a reading vlog. I think it's the same one as The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, so I'll put a link to that if you want to check it out. So yeah, I actually do think this one's okay. I'm actually really happy about it. I really loved the characters. They were fun and they were silly, and there were some really great lines, a lot of humour, and yeah, it was a great YA time. Now the next one is probably the other most important one, which is the best male romance, and I had a bit of trouble with this one, so I decided to divide it into two categories, one being historical and one being contemporary, and I think that really helps because there's a lot in one category and only a few in the other category, but there are quite a few that I really enjoyed in terms of the male romance. I don't really have a lot of physical titles, but this is one that I wanted to also point out is free. And so if you want to read this, which is KJ Charles, The Magpie Lord, A Charm of Magpies, Book 1, you can read it for free from her website or on Amazon. It's available free. It's almost always in the top 100. And that's because it's a really great read for $0. Check it out. It is historical, it's magical, it's got two very interesting characters, it's got a great sort of mystery, it's got a bit of murder, it's got everything, literally everything you could possibly want. I really want to get the physical copies of these. It's something that's on my list to get at some point, but I absolutely love seeing some of the images from the artwork for other countries. I think it was the Taiwanese versions of some of her works just came out, and they look absolutely stunning. Some of the artwork for some of these male romance novels for Asian countries where they've got different artists to do the covers, and they just look phenomenal. So yeah, I would like the KJ Charles physical copies so I can read and reread and have them on my bookshelves. But if you want to check this one out, it's fantastic. The characters are great, everything is fantastic, and of course KJ Charles's writing is I could never. So good. So yeah, I also want to say thanks to Jen for recommending that I pick this up and read it. The trilogy is really good, but the first book is absolutely phenomenal. Now the next one is obviously the contemporary romance in the male, the best one I've read this year. This is so difficult because I've read so many contemporary and so many contemporary in a specific genre, which is sports. Why are there so many sports? Why am I reading so many sports and almost all of them are ice hockey? It's ridiculous. What is with the taking over of the ice hockey male romance? Like, women are just there going, right, this is where we are now. This sport is gay, we have decided. Yeah, and I think the best one in that kind of genre is this series. It's Him, Us and Epic by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. This is another one that was recommended to me. I think this was by Rin. I think Rin recommended that I read this, and it is top notch. I knew it was a popular one. I knew that people loved this series. Where's me? So good. Him is just a really fantastic one. I liked Us, but Him is like top tier because it's got a lot of things that I like, like bisexual awakening, gay pining, all of that. But Epic is the one that I really enjoy because you've gone through a lot, especially if you then read some of the MF titles as well that's part of this series, and Epic just kind of comes along and just wraps everything up and makes you feel like it was so good. But yeah, Him is an absolutely fantastic male romance novel. Serena Bowen has really captured my heart. I'm going to have to read a lot more. She does MF as well as Elle Kennedy. They do MF romance as well. But yeah, it's definitely opened a few doors, one of them being a hockey male romance. I've read far too much of that so far this year. But yeah, I've still gone back and listened to the audiobook, read the ebook, and now I need to pick up the physicals because definitely have to add these to my physical collection. I just loved them so much. Such a good series. Everyone, you're correct. It's brilliant. So the last one that I'm going to be talking about is the graphic novels that I've been reading this year. So the best graphic novel so far in 2022. I think everyone will probably say Heartstopper, but Heartstopper I read last year, and it's only volume 4 that I hadn't read, but I did actually read it. I just read it yesterday and I absolutely loved it. It was great, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I don't know if it's the best, because it was a story I already knew, so I wasn't really being introduced to the characters, I wasn't being introduced to the world. It wasn't really new to me, it was just carrying it on. Even though volume 4 was really good, there are a few other things that I've read. Firstly, Fence. Fence is one that I've read this year, kind of just been the first time I've read it. I've only got the first 3 volumes, 1, 2 and 3. There is a volume 4. I need to pick that up, and volume 5 is coming out later in the year, and so that's something to look forward to. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's really great. It's about a boy wanting to join a fencing school and getting in, having to compete to be on the team, which he needs to be able to stay at the school. He's from a poor background, and it's that underdog doing well, having special skills, having rivalry with the best person. It has a lot of shades of Haikyuu, which I liked a lot, obviously, but it is fantastic and I've enjoyed it. But I want to read volumes 4 and 5, so it's not really my top pick. My top pick is something else. The best thing I've read in terms of graphic novels is actually Check Please. Let's see if I can make sure I have this up properly. There we go. So Check Please is super, super cute. And also, once again, it's ice hockey. Why? So yeah, the first one is book 1, #hockey, and book 2, Sticks and Scones. This is by Ngozi Ukazu. I didn't think I was going to love it as much as I loved it. It's super, super cute. It's got everything you could possibly want. It is like, basically it's like a male-male romance, but in graphic novel form. And because I've read so many ice hockey male-male romances this year, it just felt like it was completely in my wheelhouse. I loved it so much. I loved all the little extras at the back as well. I think Ngozi Ukazu has done an amazing job to produce something so fantastic, and I hope that we're going to get more from this amazing artist and author. This just made me so happy. This is like a warm hug on a cold day. It's just so lovely. So this actually might be the best thing I've read so far this year. It's got everything, so perfect. So that is all of the best things I have read so far in 2022. I have not included things like audiobooks and things. I should probably have a look and see what I've read through Audible means in terms of best narrator, that kind of thing. But a lot of the things that I read and listen to this year have been new, but a lot have also been rereads. So for example, Him, Us and Epic, I read them and I've already done a reread. Other things as well, like Boyfriend Material, I read and I've already done a reread. So there's a lot of things that I've read and reread already this year. So there's things I'm latching onto to make myself feel good. But these are some of the newer things, new to me anyway, that I have read this year that I have really, really enjoyed and I put at the top of my list for best. I didn't want to include any rereads because I already know that I like them so much. So I don't know what I'm going to choose in the end for the best thing I've read this year. I honestly have no idea, which is why I made this video in the first place. I think this is probably the best way to do it. If you get asked the question, like a lot of readers do, like what's your favourite this or favourite that, but your favourite book is too difficult a question to answer, and so dividing them all up into categories was the best way for me to come up with a best of 2022 list so far anyway. So we'll see what the next 6 months have to bring. I'm really excited to see what else I read. I have read so many amazing titles and I'm really, really grateful for all of the things that I've read, and I'm really grateful for all of the interaction from everyone who's watched. So thanks. I hope you pick up any of these. I hope I've convinced you that they're worth picking up. They're all great. Everything is fantastic. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of them. If you've read them already and if you also think they're amazing, let me know in the comments down below. I am 365-801 and I make videos about male romance, BL manga, yaoi and all that good stuff. I would love it if you gave this a thumbs up and consider subscribing as well. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you take care of yourself and I hope you have a great reading year. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!